Alright y'all, I have a little 14-foot John boat that I decked out, and it's serving as my fishing boat right now, and I needed some more rod holders to put on the boat. I wanted something that was cheap, lightweight, not permanently mounted, and something I could just do myself, and preferably something that I could move around to anywhere on the boat. They make some really nice adjustable rod holders that you mount to the deck or mount to the rail. Then they're kind of stuck in one spot, or you at least have a couple screws, or some of those things actually get kind of expensive for what they are. So I wanted something that could do all those things, and I wanted something that completely remove. Sometimes we're all fishing on the same side of the boat, sometimes we're fishing opposite sides of the boat, sometimes I'm using my boat just to tootle around, I'm not fishing at all. So I want the rod holders out of the way. So this is what I came up with. My paint job got a little bit messed up because it rained halfway through, but for the purpose of this is pure function. I don't really care. I think all in, this thing's right at $4. And it's super lightweight, it was super cheap, it was easy to make. So I'm gonna show you how to make a rod holder just like this one. So I went to Home Depot. I'm the guy who walks around the store just like trying to put things together to see if they'll fit. Probably stresses some people out big time, but it works well for me. So I found a bin full of these spring clamps. This is by Anvil. This was 99 cents. I think these are normally like $2 or $3, but they had a big bin of them. 99 cents. It's all steel, which I really like. It's got a really big, strong spring in there. I've looked at Walmart and Harbor Freight, and even like some photography stores have clips like this that are plastic. This is a lot stronger, and the spring inside is a lot bigger. I think just the metal frame can support a bigger spring. Now, because this was so cheap, I think it's gonna rust over really quick, so that's why I'm gonna paint the whole deal. But yeah, 99 cents for that spring clamp. Then I found this little flange, this tailpiece. This is meant to go in the drain of a sink so that you could swap out easily. If you really wanted to just get a regular piece of PVC pipe, that's even cheaper than this. Now this is 1.5 inch diameter. It fits a fishing rod, which is usually an inch or just slightly over an inch. So this fits it, it's the perfect size, it's the right length I want. Again, if you want to find 1.5 inch PVC, go that route, but this tailpiece is nice because it has a little bit of a taper to it. It has a flange lip, and it's thin wall, so that it's going to be a little bit more flexible, and I think that'll help it to be less brittle, especially as it sits out in the sun. So I'm just taking this and this, putting them together. They don't naturally fit. There's a hole drilled through here, but you can't put a screw or anything through the inside of this because then it'll interfere with your fishing rod. So I just did what any good DIYer does, and I just use zip ties. So let's do it. Just get started. This one started. And the bigger and stronger zip ties that you can use for this, the better. You don't want to use the dinky little ones that are just meant for like holding a tiny little computer cable. So this little flange will rest up against that clip to keep it from sliding all the way out. So I got my zip ties on there. I'm gonna go ahead and turn them so that it's tangent to the setup here so I can get it as tight as possible and it'll stay out of your way. Go ahead and grab my needle nose. Tighten that down, get a couple extra clicks on it. Pretty tight. I'll go ahead and snip it off. Now I did these going opposite directions, doesn't really matter. And I mean, that alone's the core of it. That alone would work. But see how it can slide around a little bit? And then you've got these gaps in here that are natural kind of rust traps for water to build up. I just took some of this sealant. It's just a silicone sealant. This is Lexel. It's what I had around. This is what I use on my boat. So I figured a lot of you probably have something very similar. So I'm just gonna fill in all the gaps. But if you don't have something like this, you could use just regular bathroom caulking anything to just kind of seal that. You could maybe even use hot glue. If you leave it all out in the sun, that might kind of overcome and remelt the hot glue. So that's why I didn't go that route. I think this is gonna be a little bit more durable, and it's what I already had on hand. But again, this doesn't really do a lot other than just help hold it in place, fill in the gaps. Heck, you could maybe even use expanding foam to do this. So that's all it is. I'm gonna let that dry. And then once that dries, I'm gonna come back and paint it again, so the whole thing looks a little nicer. It looks like one piece that's supposed to go together. Not quite as ghetto, but again, I think this spring clamp is gonna rust like crazy. So I'm gonna coat it with this Rust-Oleum gloss protective enamel. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be the gloss finish or satin finish. I kind of got one side of each because it got rained on, like I was saying earlier. But I'm gonna let this silicone set in, dry, come back and paint it. Then we'll end up with something like this. All right, now that we've let that silicone set up for just a couple minutes, it actually sets really quick. Now, that may be because I have the quick set stuff. Yours may differ. I like to spray paint in a box just so I don't get overspray anywhere. Again, this is just gloss protective enamel from Rust-Oleum. We'll give it a light coat on that side, then we'll flip it, do the same to the other side. Probably give it 2 coats total. Well, I hope you found this helpful, and if you have a boat and you need some rod holders, hopefully you can use this. Build these for $4 each, put them on your own boat. Until next time, stay safe, be free, and never stop seeking adventure.